Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're going to have a short video today. We're just going to discuss ND filters for solar photography and their other uses. Now I bought this 95mm filter thread for the Great American Eclipse in 2017 for my Sigma 150-600 Contemporary. It was not cheap, it was about $230, but it allowed me to take pictures of the solar eclipse. And I tried making like a little montage of it going through back in 2017 when I was really bad at video editing. So once the solar eclipse passed in August of 2017, I had this really expensive filter laying around and I had no idea what to do with it. And then I had this bright idea that maybe I should use it for landscape photography. And the reason why I'm bringing up this video now is in 2024 there's going to be a solar eclipse that's going from the south of the United States all the way up through the northern United States on the east coast. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be scrambling in the next 12 months to find filters for their long lens glass. Now this filter right here, this is from format Hitech, is a Firecrest 18 stop ND filter. Now this filter is unbelievably dark, because obviously it has to be. It is shooting the sun. When you buy it, it comes in its own little case here. I kind of dropped it off a cliff a couple years ago, and I kind of cracked the case. It kind of fell like 20 feet. The filter wasn't in it, it was on the camera, but I kind of like fell in my pocket and went bam over the bank. So here's the filter itself. It is super dark. I have a couple other tutorial videos that you can check out if you want about doing solar photography in general. We'll have a little pop-up up there for that. You can watch it after this video. And I also did one on doing landscape photography with this, but that's also a very long video, and that's not specifically about the filter itself. So they do come in different sizes, different millimeters, depending on which one you need for your lens. This is a Firecrest infrared ND 18 stop 95mm on the frame itself. So I don't have a super bright flashlight with me to demonstrate this, but I do have my cell phone, which, I mean, you know, it's a cell phone light, you get the gist. So let's put this in front of the camera. You can see how dark that is, and then we'll put the flashlight behind it. You literally cannot see my phone flashlight through that. When it comes to using this for landscapes, the number one thing you need to do is get some step rings so that you can also use this on your big long lens for like astrophotography, solar photography, and then also use it on your smaller lenses so you can use it for landscapes. So here I have a 95 to 82mm adapter ring, step ring from Cavison. It's literally just a piece of aluminum, and you just screw your filter right on there, and now you can adapt this to whatever lens you want that's 82mm. And I have another one that goes from 95 to 72 as well, and I use that on my Z24 to 70 f4S lens for landscape, and this one is for the 70 to 200 VR2 that I have for landscape. Now, some different things you want to keep in mind for this is if it's an overcast day like today, it was raining pretty heavy. You're probably looking at 10 to 15 minute exposures using this 18 stop ND filter. And if you want to cut that time in half, you can get like an 8 or 9 stop, maybe 10 stop ND filter, and you might get like a 6 or 7 minute exposure with that. But also, those smaller density filters might not be a good idea to use for solar photography, especially if you are using a DSLR, because this cuts down the light entering your lens, and your DSLR has a mirror and it's going to bounce that light that's focused in radiation up into your eyeball. So not a great idea to do that. But on a mirrorless, you're just looking at like basically a TV screen, so it's not really going to hurt anything. But your sensor might get burned out if you have too light of an ND filter. So personally, for solar photography, I highly recommend at least an 18 stop ND filter. I will put a link down below for the step ring kits and also for this filter. It's on different sizes. It'll probably be on B&H, probably won't be on Amazon. And the last thing you need when it comes to these is you absolutely need a filter wrench. That way, when it's on the lens, you can use the filter wrench to crank it off there, and it just makes it so much easier, because these bigger filters can get stuck on there from heating up on the front of your lens looking at the sun for a couple hours. So a fun little side story about why I have discovered filter wrenches is in 2017 when the solar eclipse was happening. I was sitting out there looking at the sun for like, a couple hours, and then afterwards this expanded so much from the heat that I could not get it off my camera. So I was kind of in a little bit of a panic. I started freaking out. So I go on the internet and Google how to get filters off a lens. And obviously the first thing I came to had nothing to do with filter wrenches. So the first person suggested that I put it in the freezer so that the metal will contract a little bit, and put it in there for like 10 minutes. I put the whole lens in the freezer with the cap on, and then I tried getting it off. Didn't help. The next suggestion was using those little grippy things you use to take the lids off of spaghetti sauce jars. That didn't work. Someone suggested putting a rubber band around here and then turning that slowly with one end of the rubber band in your hand. That did not work. And then I was getting super desperate and doing some pretty questionably stupid things. So I got some WD-40, and I didn't spray it on directly. I put it on like a rag or something. Kind of like dabbed it around the edge, hoping that would loosen it up enough for me to get it out. Well, that did not work. So then I was in an absolute panic for a couple days, and then I was Googling, and for some reason, after a couple days, I finally discovered filter wrenches. Huge noob mistake. Bought it on Amazon, arrived in 2 days. I put it on there, that thing came off in 10 seconds. That's probably the happiest I had been trying to fix something from the camera. So yeah, if you enjoyed this little talk about solar filters and alternate uses besides just solar photography, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below if you've ever used any of these before, and let me know how it turned out for you. Until then, happy shooting. Good luck out there.